We consider ourselves as the think tank. But we worked very closely together. We had a very seamless blending. Very, very seamless blending. This George was a very calm person. But earlier on, he was very, very, very aggressive. I think in his earlier days. And very, very alert. I remember one day, Your Excellency, when we were in Thika Stadium, that was sometime in 1996, as members of Ford Kenya, then. The infamous Ford Kenya meeting at Thika Stadium, when there were divisions in the party, and we found ourselves in Thika, trying to resolve the stalemate. We were faced by a very, very, very aggressive group that had obvious support of the police. And on our side, we remained extremely vulnerable. Together with Baba and the rest. George, on that particular day, demonstrated utmost bravery and actually saved the day, because otherwise a lot of damage would have been done. Fast forward, Your Excellency, I found myself with George. You know, those days when you were youth, under Baba, being arrested was customary, was normal. You would be arrested every other day. But one time, Your Excellency, I think that was now in 1997, when we were clamoring for reforms as young people, and under Baba and his compatriots. I found myself arrested together with George. And we spent with him almost 10 days at Kilimali police station. Those days, there was no time limit for being incarcerated in police station. You could even stay there forever, under the old constitution. We stayed with George for about 10 days at Kilimani. Later on, we found ourselves in Kamukunji police station. And eventually, we found ourselves in Kamiti, where we stayed with George alongside other comrades of his, like Lumumba Wade, who spoke here earlier on. In Kamiti, Your Excellency, we stayed for about 5 months with George. And George remained very, very firm and committed. One thing I want to say is that most of us who have worked closely under Baba, those of us who have been through the Baba School of Mentorship, one thing we have been taught is to maintain confidentiality. One thing we have been taught under Baba is to maintain confidentiality and to keep secrets. Your Excellency, these days I get surprised when people come out and say, oh, when I was serving is something to those of us who have been brought up and mentored by Baba. Because we have been taught that you must maintain confidentiality. You must maintain confidentiality. Your Excellency, let me say this, that as we send off George today, we must appreciate the gains that we have made as a country. As a country. And I must thank Baba Raila Odinga, for accepting to work closely with you, Your Excellency, to unite this country. Your Excellency, to unite this country. Your Excellency, where you sit, rest assured that Baba has got our collective mandate as the people of this region to assist you to unite this country. And that from where we sit, Your Excellency, there is no turning back. We have made a decision that we are working with you, and we are doing this to the end. To the end. We are doing this because we know that the country is much bigger than any one of us. Your Excellency, under your leadership, and I must say this here, it is the first time in the history of this country, since we gained independence, that we are seeing electricity being taken to our islands on Lake Victoria. Your Excellency, recently you came here and launched a serious mini-grid electrification project at Mageta Island. Here. Later on, I represented you in commissioning electricity projects in Ngode Island and Takawiri Island. Your Excellency, in this coming budget, we are planning to ensure, working closely with my brother John Mbadi and Mheshimiwa Samatandi, to ensure that we put in place mechanisms to extend electricity to Ndeda Island, to Oyamo Island, and to Sifu Island in Central Sakwa, here in Siaya County. And not to forget that we are also just about to open a tender to take electricity to Kiwa Island and Kibuagi Island in Suba South, Your Excellency. So these are happening because, as I conclude, Your Excellency, don't be threatened by anything or anybody. And those who are shouting, Ruto must go, I want to tell you, he's going nowhere. Oh, come on. He is going nowhere as long as Baba Raila Odinga continues to work with him. And we are all behind him. Your Excellency. Your Excellency, in this region, we are not known to be double speakers. We say what we believe in, and we do what we say. We have said in one accord that we are in this government of yours as a people, and we want to continue in that manner. Kwa hayo na machache, asanteni sana na Mwenyezi Mungu abariki. May George's soul rest in eternal peace. Asanteni sana.
Thank you, Waziri Wandai, for those words. You know, my own session is now coming to a close. So allow me on behalf of the people of Rarieda, now that we have the attention of His Excellency the President, to say only three things. First of all, Your Excellency, in these grounds where we are mourning George Oduor. But we've been mourning in recent days. In this very school where we are, 2 students lost their lives barely 2 weeks ago when they were on top of a cistern or a pit that sank. And in fact, they are being buried today. So we mourn with their families. In this very school, Your Excellency, only about a week ago, we had a funeral ceremony for 5 ladies. 5 ladies. 5 ladies who lost their lives again just in the local village when they were mining gold. And we appealed, and I've already met the CS in charge of mines, Waziri Joho, and the PS, to ask that they help us enhance the safety in terms of that. Your Excellency, the Ramba school that is mourning requested me to request, and I am merely a servant, that you may find it in your heart that if you want to donate something to this school, their biggest problem is a dining hall. They have many problems, but most of the others I'll deal with. They have a capacity of about 2,500. The dining hall that they have built about 30 years ago can only accommodate 800. Akwayo kutoka kwayo. Secondly, Your Excellency, there's a very small portion of a very small road that was unable to be completed before your time. It is called Akado Kamito Road, just 4.8 kilometers. It has now taken 6 years, just 4.8 kilometers, Your Excellency. We plead that you might find it, not just to complete it, but once it gets to a place of Assembly Bay, and you know Assembly Bay, Your Excellency, we've been there with you. When you continue now, past Luak, then you go to the Right Honorable's home. That's 11 kilometers. So we request not that you just complete the 4.8, but you now connect it so that when you come to visit your friend, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, you can choose not to go through Ndori, but you go through Kalandin. Dakupa Munbe. Lastly, Your Excellency, is affordable housing. Your Excellency, in this constituency, we are yet to get any affordable housing. But I've spoken to PS Hinga and I've requested that for us here, our top priority is accommodation for students. We are yet to get any affordable housing. But I've spoken to PS Hinga and I've requested that for us here, you see, there's Agok campus of Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, there's Bwaja TTC, and lastly, there's Nyakongo campus of the Kisumu National Polytechnic. Our humble request is, may you find it in your heart to prioritize building students' hostels as our form of affordable houses. Akwayo gozo kakwayo. Secondly, I want to support Honorable Junet. And we want to assure you, Your Excellency, and the Right Honorable Prime Minister, that as one of those who crafted the Constitution, I fully support a situation where we realize the full fruits of devolution. And therefore, if things are stuck in the National Assembly, I will be the first to support Junet to unlock it. But we equally plead with you, Your Excellency, and the Right Honorable Prime Minister, that there's this other thing called CDF, NGCDF. Hii pia msitunyang'anye jameni. Hata ukiangalia hii shule, it is shining courtesy of CDF. I agree that members of parliament have no business involving themselves in the details of CDF, including construction. Lakini at the end of the day, CDF tokonyo, kozo konyo. Uye no, okonyo kozo kokonyo. Koro CDF to beda and manani, we have to be careful. We ensure that it is restricted to the functions of national government and the member of parliament has no business dealing with it. Awajo kozo kawajo. Lastly, I want to apologize to you, Your Excellency. Only 2.5 years ago, we were adversaries because as an advocate and a senior counsel, I acted on instructions. I had my client, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, who instructed me through my leader, Senior Counsel James Orengo, to challenge your win. And we did challenge it, and you know that. And you know, when we are there, we are kind of different. We don't talk the way we are talking here. Nanu tulizungumza. But the Supreme Court said that was all hot air. And we accepted. So, Your Excellency, we accepted, therefore, because we were saying the government would be Raila Amolo Odinga. But the Supreme Court said the government is William Samoei Ruto. Adir kozo kadir. Therefore, you are the government. I thank you for accommodating us in your government. And the distinction, therefore, is we are not the government, but we are in government, courtesy of your accommodation. We are in government because we have donated experts like Opio Wandai to work with you. And we thank you for that. Uwinjo kimawacho kozo kuwinjo. Awacho niya. Kikngato wachni wan a sirikal. Lakini wan a sirikal. Uwinja kozo kuwinja. And for that reason, we beg that you give a little leeway to Waziri Wandai, Waziri Mbadi, Waziri Askul, and others. Because in this region, we have suffered discrimination for 60 years. So Dr. Buru said that give everyone their due. But you know, if you get 2 children, one who is already full and the other one is hungry, you can't give them equally. The one who's hungry unapatia mingi kidogo by way of what's called affirmative action. So hata Wandai, Mbadi na wengine wakifanya affirmative action, Your Excellency, uangalie tu na macho ya upole. Awajo kuzo kawacho. Allow me now to invite the governor of Siaya, His Excellency James Agri Orengo, to take over from here.
Hello? 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 Ero kamano. Erokamano. Now, we have a very short period, and it is raining, so we want to make this bit as quickly as possible. And Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Your Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga, Mama Karen and the family and the leadership that are here. Now it is my role to call upon a few people to speak, but I'll start by calling upon Honorable Wajakoya, 1 minute only, and then I'll call the governors.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, my Prime Minister, Honorable Raila Odinga, Governor Rengo, Governor Baraza, Governor Tuoma, Governor, my friend from Migori, Professor Nyang', and the area MP. This is the first time I'm meeting this man, Ruto, after the election. I wish you had called me before. Maybe stories would have been different. But let me take this opportunity to tell you that had I won the presidency, maybe I could have been the one talking here. But I congratulate you for your good work. The only thing I have to say, because I've been given 2 minutes, I will say 2 things. Number one, devolution. Governors are suffering. Governors do not have money. The monies have not been sent to these people. Governors are borrowing to pay their employees. Governors are really being faced with the problem of not paying contractors. Please release money for devolution. That devolution was brought by the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. Secondly, I would like you, Mr. President, and I recognize you, I would like you that when you go back home today, I want you to think the way I would have thought if I was the president. Go and call Butere girls and their principal to State House, have tea with them. Tell them thank you, and then visit their school, harmonize relationship with the school kids. Otherwise, watoto wadogo saa hizi wanakuchukia because of the mistake that was done by your juniors. Correct them. You are my president. You have the sword of power, and you can lead the country if you have both of us. Madam George, Madam Chi-George, it's George that made me closer to Jacom. There are some people who had blocked me, and I've stayed with Jacom in Britain. I've stayed with Jacom's family, including the sister in UK. But when I came back, there was that buffer zone. It is this man who made me see Jacom, and then we blossomed. Finally, Governor Orengo, Inosiapna. Orengo, you have played a big role in my education. Orengo, you have played a big role in democratization of this country. Orengo, you have played a big role in doing what we have. May I take this opportunity to go and sit down to thank Baba. If you did not do what you did, this country would have burned. But we don't want to burn this country, Mr. President. I want you to go and tell Farouk and group, waambie wakae chini. Because this country is bigger than them. You are my president. Then I'll come and have tea with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now it is my honor and privilege to call the governors to come here and